Welcome everyone to Cleo Connect 2020. Thanks for joining us for our first ever virtual conference today. Our theme is Emerge because right now the world is emerging from a global pandemic. And Emerge is also about you taking control of your integration solution so that COVID-19 doesn't cripple your business. As we adapt to the new normal, rapid business transformation and automation are becoming increasingly important to business survival. The best approach, and this is really the focus of my speech today, is to change what is old, outdated, and underperforming with what is newer, better, and more promising. Such creative destruction is what that drives innovation and transformation, especially following periods of massive economic upheaval. This past April, in a survey of Fortune 500 CEOs, most noted that the single most important lesson they learned from COVID-19 is this: a business cannot wait for the transformation it knows it needs. And buckle up, everything is happening very fast. During a recent quarterly earnings call, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said that we have seen 2 years worth of digital transformation in 2 months. The quarter is a new year, and the fastest will win. COVID-19 is the latest economic disruption to change our worldview and make us force transformation. Just think back to 10 years ago, during the Great Recession of 2008-2009. Rapid business transformation happened, and it happened on a massive scale in response to the economic disruption, not because of it. The business downturn catalyzed change. Established companies that attacked the downturn the hardest came out stronger and healthier. Examples include companies such as Vanguard, Target, and Walmart. Those that did not move fast enough ultimately failed. And this includes companies such as Sears, Toys R Us, Payless Shoe Stores, which had a long and painful demise. Now, let's look at those companies that were founded as startups during this time. And these companies attacked a competitor's weakness. Let's look at some examples. WhatsApp initially attacked Facebook and was eventually acquired by Facebook. Venmo attacked PayPal by providing a platform for college kids, and they were eventually acquired by PayPal. Instagram attacked Facebook by promising kids a social media platform of their own. And Uber attacked the taxi business, which was dispatch-oriented, archaic, unpredictable, and unfair, a situation which is ripe for digital disruption. The collective value of these companies is now huge. Or think back 20 years ago to the dot-com recession. Even then, massive industry disruption happened. For example, in Netflix, instead of selling themselves to Blockbuster for a mere $50 million, they innovated on the business model and introduced a video streaming platform. And Blockbuster, on the other hand, died a long, painful death. At Apple, Steve Jobs returned, discontinued many product lines, and promptly disrupted the music industry by introducing the iPod MP3 player. What do these stories have in common? They are examples of creative destruction. Proof it works. Out with the old, in with the new. And this is fundamental, especially during a pandemic like this, during economic disruption like this. Whenever society emerges from an economic disruption, not only old business models give way to new ones, but everything changes really fast. And that's why I want to make this point very clear, that recessions are opportunities to leapfrog your competitors. And they're amazing window opportunities for all of us to leapfrog our competitors. This phenomenon has a name. It's called creative destruction. It was an idea that was first introduced by an Austrian economist called Joseph Schumpeter back in 1942. Schumpeter saw business as an evolutionary process of continuous innovation and creative destruction. Back in July 2000, then Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan, while speaking to the National Governors Association about the dot-com bust, referred to Schumpeter's creative destruction idea. And he said, one result of the more rapid pace of IT innovation has been a visible acceleration of the process that noted economist Joseph Schumpeter many years ago termed creative destruction, the continuous shift in which emerging technologies push out the old. Now, we are again in a period of creative destruction. Emerging technologies will be pushing out the old, and everything is going to happen very rapidly. We too have the opportunity to reinvent ourselves and drive transformation. And as with any recession, there will be winners and there will be losers. Which do you want to be? And what sort of transformation is needed? The answer is digital transformation across the ecosystem and between end-to-end processes that are driving your supply chain. And that is exceptionally fundamental. Okay. Currently, what we are seeing is a massive transformation, a massive shift to e-commerce. And the implication of this shift is going to be profound for a long period of time to come. Let's just look at Walmart as an example. Walmart, as you know, is a very, very strong company. Yet, Amazon is the number one in its sector. But Walmart has an extremely agile supply chain and is a large company that can move very fast. What Walmart is now doing is they are recognizing this window of opportunity with this pandemic, and they're aggressively going against Amazon, and they're attacking them to change the pecking order. Walmart is leveraging e-commerce, omni-channel fulfillment, and the local distribution model. There is a Walmart within 5 miles of 75% of US population. And they are exploiting the fact that Amazon is basically a wholesaler. And so with Walmart Plus, the trading partners of Walmart have to dynamically adjust themselves, all of the ecosystem trading partners. Those manufacturers, wholesalers, and logistics companies that can leverage e-commerce and omni-channel will thrive well. They'll get a lot of business from Walmart. Those that cannot will be shut out of Walmart business. Now, the integration corollary to this is that you need a very flexible and agile integration solution so that you can adapt yourself to be agile so you can keep up. You too can change the pecking order in your industry if you can master e-commerce and attack your competitors as aggressively as Walmart is attacking Amazon. Ultimately, e-commerce is about providing great buyer experiences online. And relative to fulfillment, it is about delivering what was purchased as promised on time. To enable this, you need to be able to do real-time integration through APIs. The EDI-based, batch-based integration alone is not sufficient. What you need is a combination of API and EDI integration. This will come as no surprise to Cleo customers because today with Cleo Integration Cloud, you can already do this while your competitors cannot. Companies that can create and control API and EDI integration from the same platform can aggressively attack the competitors and change the pecking order and be able to drive business transformation and thrive. Yeah. And therefore, as we saw, the recession will create winners and losers. Therefore, take advantage of the downturn. Invest in digitalization. Automate your manual business processes. This will set you up for success. Today's situation is no different than what happened 10 or 20 years ago. This is our time. Let's make the most of this opportunity. And now, I'll share with you how we can make the most of this opportunity. I'll share with you 3 key ideas to emerge as a winner. First, leverage creative destruction for long-term success. Second, embrace agility and adaptability with cloud integration. Third, adopt an integration blueprint as your guide to drive your digital transformation roadmap. And at the end, I will make a new product announcement, the crown jewel of Cleo Integration Cloud that we'll be announcing later today. Let us discuss creative destruction. It's a timeless idea that works. I mentioned this idea of creative destruction several times. In fact, it's already hitting many of the industries. For instance, in manufacturing, as the manufacturers are seeing retailers struggling and e-commerce on the rise, they are embracing make-on-demand and direct-to-consumer business models. In logistics, companies are updating the legacy systems and embracing the cloud to become nimble and to be able to respond as fast as they can to their customers. And in the wholesale distribution industry, as the wholesalers are sensing and seeing disintermediation by the likes of Amazon and eBay, are introducing omni-channel experiences of their own. Therefore, it's time for you to take rapid action, because if not, it could be too late. So for us to understand what happens in recessions, Harvard Business Review conducted a survey of past recessions, looking at winners and losers from past economic recessions. And they conducted a study in 2010, and they looked at 4,700 publicly traded companies, 3 years before a downturn and through the downturn and 3 years after the downturn. The results of their survey was very, very interesting and extremely relevant for this review at this time as they're emerging from the COVID-19 pandemic. From the results, they saw that 17% of companies did not survive an economic downturn. Some went bankrupt, others got acquired. Of those that survived, 80% of the companies failed to regain their pre-downturn growth rate even 3 years after the end of the downturn. And only 9% of the companies flourished after the recession. And these 9% that flourished adopted different approaches. In fact, they adopted 3 different ways to survive and thrive and flourish during the recession. The first approach was a defensive strategy. This was about cost reduction, people cuts, and more importantly, operational cost reduction. The second strategy was an offensive strategy where companies went ahead and invested during a downturn to get ahead. And the third approach was an optimal balance strategy where companies pursued a pragmatic cost reduction strategy coupled with investments selectively in areas such as R&D, sales and marketing, and in new assets. Now, if you look at the defensive strategy, 21% of the companies that followed and pursued a defensive strategy succeeded and flourished. However, the Harvard research also showed that being too defensive is not good. As an example, Sony cut $2.5 billion of cost out of their operations during 2008 recession. And when they came out of the recession, they were not able to achieve their pre-downturn growth rates, and they fell behind Sony in terms of Samsung in terms of LED television sets, and Nintendo when it came to gaming. Similarly, what the research found was that the offensive strategy worked for 26% of the companies, which is 1 in 4 companies flourished using an offensive strategy. However, being too aggressive was not helpful. Hewlett-Packard, back in 2002, pursued a very aggressive strategy in the aftermath of the 2000 dot-com recession. They invested heavily in rebranding and consolidation. The then CEO, Carly Fiorina, acquired Compaq, which was the largest acquisition in the history of Hewlett-Packard. And doing that did not help HP either. The optimal balance gave the best results. In fact, 37% of the companies flourished by using a selective strategy of operational streamlining of cost reduction and selective investment. And Staples is a great example. We want you, our customers, to be in the 9% of companies that flourish after downturn. And ecosystem integration provides you the best combination of defensive and offensive strategy in terms of operational streamlining and technology investment. If you're an established manufacturer, wholesaler, or logistics company, you know disruption is coming your way. And if your business is on the smaller size, you also know that the old ways of doing business will not work anymore, and there are new approaches that need to be followed to be able to survive and thrive. Now, let's look at Staples. What made Staples successful during the 2000 recession? At the time, there were two companies which were doing relatively well and relatively similar, Office Depot and Staples. Office Depot was actually the larger business. It was $8.7 billion of revenue compared to Staples, which is $7.1 billion of revenue in 97, 3 years before the economic recession. But these companies followed two entirely different approaches to cost management during the downturn. Office Depot cut 6% of the workforce, but they really could not reduce much of their operating costs other than headcount reduction. And despite having a sales incentive plan, their sales growth fell from 19% before the recession to 8% after. On the other hand, Staples was able to do something different. They closed underperforming facilities, but actually increased their workforce by 10%. And they invested in salespeople and folks in stores who can position and sell high-margin products and services. And through a combination of selective investment in the workforce and operational streamlining, Staples was able to double its sales growth. And they grew from $7.1 billion in 97 to $14.6 billion in 2003. Office Depot, on the other hand, only grew 8%, so they grew by 50%, and so they ended up being $13.4 billion. So essentially what happened was Staples emerged out of the 2000 recession as the stronger, bigger, faster growing, and more importantly, had 30% higher profitability than Office Depot. So Staples changed the pecking order. And this is creative destruction in action, outpacing a competitor. Now, we want you, our customers, to be like Staples. So what do these stories of creative destruction relate to integration technology and the recession we are experiencing today? From a business perspective, from the Fortune 500 CEO survey, we saw that companies are looking to digitally transform sooner rather than later. They want to be able to have agile supply chains and have full control over their ecosystems. From an integration technology standpoint, from our Cleo's 2020 market trends survey, where we leverage a third party to interview more than 300 integration specialists, asking them about their largest integration problems, the sense of urgency is very clear. Companies today are looking for integrations to be easier, faster, and more of a value driver. The four key results we found in the survey was that 98% of the companies want ecosystem integration to be critical, and they want it. 84% see integration as a value driver. 64% of the companies that are surveyed plan on upgrading integration in 2020, and 57% plan to migrate the integration to the cloud. So from what we are hearing from the Fortune 500 CEOs and the top integration specialists around the world, it is clear as day that no industry is immune to disruption. If you are a larger industry, you'll see disruption, and so too if you're a smaller company. And therefore, essentially, you're either playing defense or offense, meaning you're either getting disrupted or you're the one causing disruption. And given the economic law of creative destruction, there will be winners and there will be losers. And so at Cleo, we fully understand why integration teams throughout the world are getting frustrated with the old way of doing things. Because they are, and we are, seeing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be able to change the pecking order in your business and get ahead. Right? Digital transformation is here to stay, and it's rapidly accelerating. There is an irreversible shift to e-commerce and omnichannel fulfillment. And supply chain agility and adaptability has become far more important than ever before. So you too, as manufacturers, wholesalers, and logistics companies, can aggressively attack and force transformation. However, the old way of doing things will not be sufficient. Now we need a new paradigm. We need the cloud. It all starts with integration. Let me emphasize again, it all starts with integration. The goal should be true ecosystem enablement by way of supply chain agility and having visibility across your end-to-end business processes, such as order to cash, procure to pay, and load and invoice. And cloud is where you can make all of this happen. Okay. Now, let's look at why cloud integration is critical. Why it's so important to move integration with the cloud. It is because cloud integration enables two critical drivers. First is adaptability, and the second is agility. Adaptability is evolving a supply chain structure to respond to changing market conditions. And agility is sensing and responding to changes quickly. Together with adaptability and agility, you will be able to deal with what you know, what you do not know, with respect to what is impacting your supply chain. And ecosystem integration will allow you to provide the experiences, the end customer experiences that your business stakeholders expect you to deliver, no matter what is happening in the world around you. Maybe it is an economic disruption. Maybe it's a hurricane. Maybe it's a pandemic. It's a competitive threat, a geopolitical event. No matter what comes your way, if you've built adaptability and agility into your supply chain through integration, through cloud integration, your ecosystem will be far more capable, will have a far better odds of flourishing past an economic downturn. Now, the old school thinking was to go and buy monolithic ERP, CRM, HR, finance applications and stitch them together in an on-premise environment. Too many companies are still hostage to such inside-out thinking. But the post-modern ERP view of the cloud is a far, far better alternative. And here is why the post-modern ERP view of the cloud is important. It's because cloud inherently is a dynamic environment that fosters adaptability and agility. And it provides the infinite flexibility to be able to add, change, remove applications whenever you need them as the situation demands. And operationally, it is a seamless, on-demand data and information flow that provides real-time insights through which you can make the best business decisions possible. So as you are transforming a business to a post-COVID-19 era, make sure you make plans to fully leverage the cloud and organize your roadmap accordingly. Instead of cobbling together applications around an ERP or a CRM modernization initiative, instead move your integration to the cloud first. And doing so will give you tremendous optionality. And this is why. If you have your integration platform in the cloud, first you have the choice. And based on the choice, you can take one aspect of the transformation at a time and be able to glue together on your time frame, on your own terms, and on your budgets. Remember, ERP modernization is a massive initiative. ERP initiatives typically take a long time. And given the pace of the digital economy, the odds are that you'll most likely be stuck with an ERP initiative at some point. So instead of cobbling together applications, if you lead with ecosystem integration first, you can organize your project roadmap in line with your business process and your digital transformation roadmap needs. And this really gives you optionality. It puts you in the driver's seat. And therefore, as companies are emerging from this pandemic, if you want to emerge in a positive manner, move your integration to the cloud first and not cloud ERP. And when you do that, follow the following prioritization. Focus on what your customer expects. Know what kind of experience you can deliver. And based on that, take a outside-in approach. By taking an outside-in approach, you can look at what the gaps are. And you can make addressing those gaps your first priority by pulling components which are either SaaS applications or your legacy investments with an integration platform in the cloud. And by examining these end-to-end processes like order to cash, procure to pay, and load and invoice, you can make the right fixes to make sure these end-to-end processes are agile and you have high end-to-end visibility. Destroy whatever is hindering you from being adaptable and agile. And you can essentially glue together a ecosystem integration experience that's going to provide you the digital footprint. Now, talking about glue, I would like to share with you an example from the logistics industry. As many of you know, the logistics industry today is extremely hot and it is undergoing massive disruption. On one hand, we have established players like C.H. Robinson, which is the largest logistics service provider in the world, and they're investing $1 billion over the next 5 years in innovation and advanced technology and talent to be able to provide the best experiences possible to their partners and the customers. But in the other extreme is a digital upstart called Convoy, which is leveraging cloud technology to build a digital freight network. And it's giving a run for the money for the likes of C.H. Robinson by digitally connecting shippers and carriers, and they're striving to eliminate waste in the freight industry. Convoy figured out a way to curb deadheading through real-time discounting made possible through intelligent optimization so that a truck is full of cargo both ways on any route, so that a truck never comes home empty. And Convoy is able to do this by leveraging a digital strategy with APIs to stand up a cloud-native digital freight network, which can link shippers and carriers, and they're able to technologically provide a tremendous competitive front against the likes of C.H. Robinson. So now, seeing what Convoy has done and others in the digital freight brokerages have done, what I see is that other players in the logistics service provider market with freight brokerages will emulate and follow what Convoy has done, which is to embrace a cloud integration platform and be able to leverage a combination of API and EDI integration to be able to compete effectively against the likes of C.H. Robinson, Expeditors, XPO, and others. And this is because in today's digital economy, where everything is moving so fast, there is no place for someone to be somewhere in the middle. You can never be stuck in the middle. Either you are very nimble and aggressive like Convoy, or you're huge and dominant like C.H. Robinson. You just cannot be in the middle. And therefore, what is extremely important, given the pace of the digital economy, is to be API first. Because EDI, by its nature, while it's extremely important, is not enough. On one hand, EDI is important because there are established trading partner relationships between shippers and carriers which are EDI-based. However, with everything moving to the cloud, be it ERP, CRM, digital freight brokerages, marketplaces, e-commerce, SaaS applications, if you do not move your integration to the cloud, you will not be able to have the agility and adaptability you need in your supply chain. So an ecosystem integration platform in the cloud becomes the digital glue that glues together applications, business processes, and workloads. And also, with the cloud, you get security. With the cloud, you get uptime and availability. Right? You get elasticity. You get real-time flow of data and information. And that is why we are leading with APIs first. But we fully understand EDIs are important, and that's why we deliver EDI as well on the same platform. However, EDI alone is not enough, especially with everything, with all your trading partners moving to the cloud. So if you do not put integration first, if you do not move your integration to the cloud, if you do not lead with APIs, you will not have the agility and the adaptability you need in your supply chain. And that's why at Cleo, we have put our heart and mind and soul to one thing, which is helping you, our customers, be able to take advantage of the operating principles that are inherent in cloud technology, which is essentially adaptability and agility, so that you will be able to move rapidly and be able to attack in your space and transform your business. So you can leverage APIs rapidly and securely to connect whatever you want, be it applications, business processes, marketplaces, freight brokerages, with any data sources whenever you want. Now, let's look at an example of how we can migrate. How does Cleo enable you to do everything we have just discussed so far? You need a vision, a plan, and a path forward. For that, we have created this blueprint. This blueprint shows you a digital journey for your transformation. Out with the old, in with the new, so you can pursue your integration strategy in concert with your business strategy. And our goal is to ensure you have agility and adaptability in your supply chain by driving a consistent path forward in an integration journey. You can see 5 levels of integration in this blueprint. Level 1 is file-based integration, which is your managed file transfer technology and MFT technology with communication protocols so you can safely and securely do cloud integration. Level 2 is data transformation, which is EDI, non-EDI, XML, all batch-based exchange of information. With level 1 and level 2, you can accomplish your requirements for cost management and compliance. There are retailer compliance requirements, manufacturer requirements for the suppliers, lots of EDI-based requirements. And level 1 and level 2 puts you in control of EDI-based compliance and cost management. Level 3 is API integration. It's both for backend integration into the ERP systems, WMS systems, TMS systems, marketplaces, as well as front-end integration, whether it's e-commerce sites, digital freight brokerages. So level 3 is when innovation begins. And level 4 is end-to-end visibility across your supply chain, across your core end-to-end business processes, such as order to cash, procure to pay, load to invoice. With level 3 and level 4, you're gaining differentiation and innovation. You become cloudy. You're enabling APIs. And with this, you can now drive faster onboarding, fewer SLA violations, more and easier integration to e-commerce, to marketplaces. So being able to combine level 3 and level 4 with level 1 and level 2 puts you in a unique driver's seat. And then level 5 is a holy grail. That's dynamic and intelligent integration. There, you can cause disruption. Being an ecosystem enabler, you can become like Amazon in your industry, causing disruption because you can move extremely fast. Now the question is, where are you in this integration blueprint? And where do you want to be in the next 6, 9 to 12 months? I believe the next 6 to 9 months provides a unique window of opportunity for companies to change their pecking order. Now, let's look at an example which will bring this home. there's a t-shirt company, a customer of Cleo, which has very successfully implemented make-on-demand and direct-to-consumer business models. So their customers are both retailers like Target and Walmart, as well as consumers like ourselves. They use a make-on-demand business model with the retailers like Target and Walmart, where a consumer can walk up to a store or on a .com, like a Target.com or Walmart.com, use the retailer system to place the order for a t-shirt as the size and style they want. And the retailer can work with our customer and manufacture on demand the required custom t-shirt. Right? With this, they're skipping the warehouse, carrying no inventory, and then nimbly reacting to market demand. So everyone benefits, right? As a retailer is benefiting because of easy inventory management. Our customer is able, as a manufacturer, has far more insights about the consumer and positions themselves well for manufacturing 4.0. And both the retailer and the manufacturer benefit from the fact that there is no lock on capital. There's low inventory and money is flowing. And they also figured out how to do e-commerce with the consumers through a direct-to-consumer model. And they were able to do this because they leveraged Cleo Integration Cloud with both the level 3 and 4 with API and end-to-end visibility, and level 1 and 2 with EDI. So they're blending it through a combination of API and EDI integration with end-to-end visibility. They successfully deployed make-on-demand and direct-to-consumer business model. Also, it's very interesting what Nike did just last month, where Nike essentially announced a pragmatic approach of offense and defense with direct-to-consumer. They're investing in e-commerce, and their CEO, John Donahoe, just mentioned they're shifting resources and creating capacity to reinvest in our highest potential areas. Reductions are not being done for cost savings. Any savings will be reinvested into our priorities. What I'm advocating is that you see transformation as a journey of creative destruction. Take an API-first approach. Get rid of what does not help, because real-time information is essential and end-to-end visibility is mission critical. And having API and EDI integration on the same platform gives you inordinate flexibility and capabilities to accommodate any business requirement. Cleo has what you need to enable creative destruction. We are leading with APIs, but our platform has so much more capabilities. It's extremely powerful. We launched our next generation Cleo Integration Cloud during January of this year. Every quarter of this year, we have announced new capabilities. Today, I want to crown all that work by sharing our latest news. The crown jewel of Cleo Integration Cloud, CIC Cockpit, officially released today. And with the CIC Cockpit, essentially you get complete integration control. It's the face of Cleo Integration Cloud. And as the face of Cleo Integration Cloud, users can see, understand, and apply real-time information to support their role. What it really does is it democratizes integration. It allows executives and business users to make better business decisions by leveraging performance data. It simplifies integration management. It presents situational data to optimize and drive efficiency into business processes. You no longer need to be an expert in integration. You can now do integration. What was complex is now a snap. As a central place where all the important data surfaces, CIC Cockpit heralds a new paradigm in ecosystem integration. It's a culmination of 5 years of hard work at Cleo. And it tracks our evolution at Cleo from an MFT company to an EDI company to an iPaaS company. And today, the only complete and flexible API-led cloud platform for robust ecosystem integration. We're so excited about this. Here is a short demo.
Thanks, Mahesh, and hi, everyone. I'm Jacob Olson, Solution Architect here at Cleo, and I'm really excited to be here today to show you our CIC Cockpit and some of the great things it's enabling for our customers. So first of all, this is our dashboard view, And the dashboard is meant as really an everyday at-a-glance view, and it's meant for business users and technical users alike. I can see relevant detail around a whole number of different processes. And so for a high-level executive, maybe I'm interested in the health of my business and history with certain trading partners. For a technical user, maybe I'm interested in specific transactional processes that support my order to cash and load tender to invoice business processes. All of that's visible through here. Everything is configurable, so depending on what I need to see on a daily basis, I can tweak these tiles so that I can see that relevant information quickly. So for example, if I'm responsible for viewing and understanding Shopify orders that CIC is retrieving from my Shopify store, I can add that tile into my dashboard so that I can see all of that detail at a glance. Each of these is also drill down. So if I need to see detail around one of these individual processes, I can click into them. For example, my invoice tile here. And what will happen is this will take me to my messages view and automatically now filter out for the specific tile that I just clicked on. This would be outbound invoices in this case. And you can search and filter in here to find whatever you need to, certain trading partner transactions, specific issues that have popped up that you've been notified about. You can search those down, different message IDs, and even detail that's contained inside the payload can all be searched to retrieve the relevant message transaction. So in this case, if I'm interested in Big Box Retail Co., I can click on this tile, and it will drill now into the lifecycle view of this entire business process. So what's really, really key about this and really unique about the cockpit is that we're going to tie this invoice to all of the associated messages that made up this business process. So for example, if I know an invoice number, but I'm looking for the originating purchase order, I can now find this invoice and automatically get to the purchase order that I'm interested in, as well as all of the other supporting documents. So the idea is bring everything together, make it really easy for users to get to what they're looking for. And the important part about this is that this is empowering users to make informed decisions without having to be an integration expert. And it also improves efficiency by having EDI, API, and non-EDI type transactions all in the same view and contained in the same process. You can also view the full end-to-end transactional history of these different processes as well. And so, for example, my trading partner activity, my transformation activity, and even ERP integration through the agents that we might deploy to an on-prem location, for example, end-to-end, we can see exactly what's happening. And this is an unprecedented level of visibility across the entire ecosystem of your integrations. And it enables your team to efficiently manage and gain insights out of the platform at a glance. So as you can tell, we're really excited about this, and we can't wait to show you more about what this can do for you. And for a detailed demo on the Cleo Integration Cloud and the CIC Cockpit, be sure to attend the Under the Hood demo later today. And we're excited to show you a little more detail on this. Back to you, Mahesh.
Pretty amazing, right? You will learn more about it during the rest of today's conference. Now, this is my call to action. First, apply creative destruction in your industries so that you are the one doing the disruption. Attack your competitors hard by gaining adaptability and agility in your supply chain. Second, move your integration to the cloud. Focus on integration first over ERP, and this is because you want to have the choice, control, and the optionality to be able to organize your digital transformation initiatives. Adopt an API-first integration strategy. While EDI is important, EDI alone is not enough. You need a blend of API and EDI capabilities with API first. So in a digitally transforming economy, you can be the disruptor. Do a thorough job, not patchwork. Focus on e-commerce and omni-channel. As we saw from what Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said, that companies are seeing 2 years worth of digital transformation in 2 months. So it's important to focus on e-commerce and omni-channel right now. Replace manual processes with automation. And always be thinking about your ecosystem. Thank you for joining us for Cleo Connect 2020. We look forward to helping our customers emerge stronger and with utmost confidence in their strategic approach to ecosystem integration. Thank you.